All right, so we're here once again, tuning in, and with my good buddy Rob Wilton from the other side of the Atlantic. How you doing, Rob?
I'm good, thanks, Jeff. You?
Great, man.
Yeah.
It's been a fun ride. It was fun seeing you over on our side of the pond too, for a change. Come to see, our big bird event. Dropped in on us on the biggest week in American birding. Got to see all the spectacle. I mean, it's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, I did. It was an amazing few days. It really was a great experience. Obviously, never been before, and totally different than what I was expecting. I'm used to obviously like bird fair and things, but this was such like a spread out event. There's all kind of things going on in different kind of locations and stuff, and yeah, it was really interesting. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, bird fair is a unique one. Over here in the US, it seems like all of the birding and nature events are all about the birding first and foremost. It's the field trips and the field time and the birds themselves. And then there will be a little, as a sideline. Oh, and by the way, there's vendors over here. Bird fair obviously is a completely different critter, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But uh, great event as well. Can't wait to see you over there. Yeah, biggest week was great this year though. I mean, it was I jokingly wrote about it being our biggest week because we had so much going on. With all of our activities. We sponsored the inaugural season of the morning flight that they had there. And where they tallied almost a 500,000 birds in the course of the season. Um, I knew it would be great because the migration there is just phenomenal. That's what that event is built around, this mass of birds. Um, it's sort of a real migrant hotspot, of course.
Yeah.
And that's why there's so many people there. But we had that. We were the official sponsor of the field trips. So there was a Kowa scope on all of the vans, which was nice. We had multiple digiscoping workshops, and I gave a talk on the digiscoping big year. A lot of our ambassadors were there. It was a lot going on. So
Yeah.
glad you made it over and got to see that. Got a few lifers. Got Kirtland's warbler for you. You
Warbler,
know,
yeah, that was
yes,
that was great, and just the excitement, everybody all gathering. I've never seen so many long lenses in one place. I
yeah.
failed miserably on the digiscoping side, but thankfully you managed to get some nice footage of that, didn't you?
It's what I do, Rob.
It is. Yeah, you practice more than me, but no,
That's
it,
my
it,
thing.
was- it was really good. I just liked the whole setup. I liked the whole sort of camaraderie, at the central hub at the lodge,
Yeah.
and just how well catered it was for everybody. And you could go and get your donuts and your coffee, and then disappear on an excursion, and then come back, and then go to the optics alley or go to a talk somewhere else. It was, yeah, proper adventure, really. It was, yeah, it
Yeah.
was it was
And then
great.
everyone can reconvene, like you said, in the evening and
Yeah.
kind of go over the day's events and what they saw in the field. Um, it's definitely a good vibe and, well organized, well run. The people that put that together, of course, at the Black Swamp Bird Observatory do a great job. Um, so it's always a good event. Sorry you couldn't have stuck around for the
Yeah.
tattoo contest and the bird tattoo contest. I know you were disappointed
The
that
bird
you could.
tattoo contest. And I missed the karaoke as well, didn't I? I missed the
Yeah,
karaoke.
same night. They roll into one another. So
Right, right. So next time.
yeah, we'll have to get you there. But yeah, no, that was good. That capped off kind of our migration events. We'd had a real busy season over here up to that point with pretty well being it seemed like at an event almost every other weekend of the year. You know, um, for us, there's so many of these events that are so localized that it's important to try and get to as many as we can, spread the love, and get to talk to different people in different communities, and get to interface and let them not only try our gear, but we get their feedback on products they'd like to see in the future and things. So it's important to be out there
Yeah,
in the field
yeah.
for that. So,
Yeah, when you can think of the size of the country and all the different habitats and things, a bit different over here in the UK. We don't have as many shows, and that's why bird fair is so important to
yeah.
us as a company, and as birders and things. It's a big like sort of focal point. So I mean, we do get localized ones like you'll get RSPB events and some dealer events and things like that. But yeah, this is the highlight of the calendar.
Yeah, and candidly, I mean, I still believe it's the largest birding event that exists as far as attendance goes. I don't think there's another larger one. I know when did Tim kick that off? Our buddy Tim Appleton, was one of the two founders of that event, and it's been a while now. I'm trying to
It's
remember. Do
been a
you
while. I
remember?
can't remember how many. I
It
mean,
started small. I know that, with
yeah,
like, maybe 1,000 attendees at most, and it's built up from there. Probably hundreds even that first year. Who knows? But now it's become sort of the focal point in the community
yeah,
as the only true, proper consumer trade fair in, as far as I'm aware, in the entire, birding industry. It's like you say, it's not about birding. There are some birding events that we tack on, but for the most part. The whole event is really about coming to see and look at the goods and services in the birding industry. It's become a huge travel event, of course. Uh,
yes, a lot of
so
travel companies and some really interesting talks and
yeah.
that kind of thing. And I like the art tents as well. Some of the stuff in those art tents is
Oh
incredible.
yeah. Well,
It's
phenomenal. Yeah.
absolutely amazing. So yeah, so obviously you're coming over this year, and we've got a bigger team this year because we've got some ambassadors coming joining us. So we're very happy that we'll have David Lindo, the urban birder. He's not he's got his own booth, as you know, but he's also doing a lot of things with us at the show. So that's exciting. And we've got some digiscoping ambassadors, Paul Hackett, Justin Carr. So if anybody's interested in digiscoping, want to learn or want to improve, or we've got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, and I know some of our Central American partners are going to be there and be speaking in the booth as well. We're going to be talking about Costa Rica and Panama, respectively, on one of the talks of the many slated talks that we're going to be doing, on the stand proper, little pop-ups. So that'll be exciting for you to have a lot of that of our morning walks and the digiscoping walk and a lot going on.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm just looking at the schedule now. So yeah, we've got David Lindo doing a nature walk every morning. You don't have to
Mhm.
book on these things. Just turn up, and all the details will be on the Kowa booth. You just turn up and join David, and he'll do a guided walk around the local area really, and get down to the lake hopefully. And obviously, you're doing your digiscoping walk on the Saturday at 10.
Yep.
So yeah, that's going to be really interesting. And again, you don't need kit. You can bring your own kit, and if you're having problems, we'll try and get you set up and sorted, or you can have a play around with the Koa kit, and get some good tips. So that'll be good. Yeah, then we've put in a little. It's not a stage, but it's a little platform on the booth on our booth this year, just for like you say, some little pop up talks and things, and we have all sorts, including your biggest co-scoping year as well. So
Oh boy.
it's going to be
Yeah. That was a good time. It's of course a fun topic to speak on. It's a combination of birding and digiscoping, two of my favorite things. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll talk about that. Twist my arm.
yeah.
And a rare rabbit felt, we can thrown into the briar patch. Did that
Um,
book to make it over to your side of the pond too? Was it good?
what's that? Sorry.
That book, I don't know if that was a childhood book of mine. It may not have
No,
circulated as much on the US.
no. So I guess you'll have a huge PowerPoint for that, won't you? With the 1,000 slides.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to milk it down a little bit. We're just
Yes,
gonna
yeah, the
highlight a couple
highlights.
couple things, some of the fun events, but yeah, I think we're just probably talk for 20 minutes or so and we'll take some questions on it, but a little teaser on it.
Yeah,
Gotta save time for all of our ambassadors that want to speak. Chris Bell, of course, coming and
yeah,
talking about the big year in South America, doing his backpack birding thing. Chris, some of you may remember, is the co-host of the Birder Show in Colombia, and He took last year essentially to travel all over South America, chasing down as many of these endemics and things as he could, and set I think it's a continental record for the most bird seen in South America. I should know that, but I'm going to find out at the talk.
Yeah, yeah,
He's doing a
looking
little
forward to it.
stand up, I know, in the booth, and then actually giving a proper talk as well in one of the marquees. Um, that'd be more extensive on the same topic, but his digiscopes, of course, are always beautiful. All his digiscoped images and videos in particular, just outstanding talent. And then we'll have Jim Kimball from Tranquilo Bay, one of our sponsored lodges in Panama, speaking, and part of our crew that we sponsor in Costa Rica. Some of our sponsored lodges down there as well are going to speak about the birds and wildlife in their backyard, which are behind me, some of them. But yeah, it's gonna be big fun.
Yeah, and Paul Hackett's he's got two official workshops and a lecture as well. So he's really sort of hitting it this year with the digiscoping, especially on the smartphone side of things. So two
Yeah,
two smartphone workshops and a guide to smartphone digiscoping for beginners lecture as well. So yeah, there's lots to take in and learn as much or as little as you want, really. So yeah, it's going to be
yeah. If
great.
anyone, of course, out there is curious about Digiscope and you can't make one of the official, events, we'll be on the stand. Paul, myself, Justin Carr will be kicking around. The pictures behind me are taken with my phone. Through the Kowa spotting scopes. So they are. There's enough of us around that we can definitely help you figure out how to make the best out of your kit. And realize what makes digiscoping special, how is different from standard photography. Namely the reach is the big one, but to be able to get focal lengths of approaching 3,500 millimeter, 4,000 millimeter lenses is insane. So it's an advantage, and it comes with a lot of challenges as well. But we can help you through that learning curve to help you, maximize your kit. So.
Yeah, lots of hints and tips, and some little secrets from the experts just to get you going. So yeah, really invaluable. And of course, we've got our little raffle, which we're going to do every day on the booth. So free prize draw for some limited edition. We're doing a little urban birder special on our YF model, which is a great all round binocular for the whole family. Anyone can use it. Nice big focus wheel, really nice traditional looking poro prism style binocular. But we've tweaked it and we've put a nice little exclusive urban birder version of it, and it'll also include David's latest book as well, and
Okay.
also his a guidebook and a special mug and a nice cloth bag. So yeah, come on the stand and enter the raffle, and we'll draw that at 4 o'clock every night. And David will sign a nice little certificate in there, so they'll be quite unique. That'll be quite cool.
Indeed. I mean, it's kind of seems like forever that since we've been on the webinar um, ride here. It was a big thing during the pandemic, and everyone kind of, as that ended, of course, everyone got busy again, it seemed like, and we kind of let it slide. But we've got so many great ambassadors and so many people with so much to talk about that we're going to be bringing these back. They're real popular, and hopefully you'll want to tune in and check out our talks with our various ambassadors, including, the likes of David Lindo.
Yeah.
So yeah, speaking of David Lindo, I mean, of course, folks in the UK get to see him all the time, but he doesn't get around my side of the Atlantic quite as often. He was one of the keynote speakers last at Morro Bay Bird Festival back in the early January, but excited that following hot on the heels of the Global Birdfair, David's going to come back over, and he'll be the Saturday night banquet speaker, the keynote speaker at the Southeast Arizona Birding Festival as well. So folks in the US, if you want to the opportunity to see and meet with David Lindo, the urban birder. He's going to be in Tucson, Arizona. In the I guess it's the basically the end of the first week of Arizona for the Southeast Arizona Birding Festival. So sponsored by the Tucson Bird Alliance. So yeah, join us for that as well.
Yeah. So when is that? Is that straight after Bird Fair or
It's starts on the sixth through the 10th of August.
right?
So
Yeah, so
a
2 weeks after, 2 or 3 weeks.
couple weeks, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not
That's
too
going to
terribly
be
long.
a busy man.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can check out our web pages and kind of just view the team. Not all of them are listed. We've offered to have them listed, and some haven't taken us up on that yet. But and we've got a lot of people that are on Team Koa that are really major influencers in the community, doing a lot in the field.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to bringing back the webinars. It was a COVID one of the few positive things that around the COVID times was that we sort of got together and started to do these online webinars, and it kind of kick-started us into talking to the ambassadors more and learning more about what they were doing and things. And yeah, it's going to be great just to. I think they're really for me quite inspirational. I know I really got back into my digiscoping again quite recently. I think it's just spending so much time with people that are doing it, all the time, and I just their enthusiasm is just like. I mean, I did it a long time. I did it for a long time, a while back, and I don't know. I just kind of got out of the habit of doing it. But being in, and I think with all the traveling this year and meeting up with ambassadors and stuff, it's just really kind of like. So yes, I remember all the things I really loved doing about this. So
Yeah, it's therapeutic.
yeah,
Every being in nature and being out there, of course, is a great distraction from getting beat up by life, sometimes, and all the distractions that come with that. But yeah, you're going to be in trouble, I think, after Bird Fair. Then once we get all that Digiscope in action all around you,
I
you'll be
know.
a maniac, Rob.
I'm really, but I've been up into my sort of loft space. I've got all my gear back now, the tripods, and I just didn't realize just how much kit I've got. Got the dusted off the DSLR, and yeah,
Wow.
I've been going out a few times with Paul Hackett and Justin Carr recently, and yeah, we've just been doing some really great stuff. So it's good. It's really nice to they know all the spots, they know where to go and everything, and yeah, I've seen some really nice things recently, and yeah, so I'm really getting back into that. So I shall enjoy this over Bird Fair.
It would have been too bad you couldn't have stayed on at the biggest week. By the end of 10 days there, we would have had you as just a raving lunatic. You've been going for my record probably.
Yeah,
So I can
that's
beat him.
a
I can take him
thousand.
down,
Yeah,
knock me off my pedestal, did
that's going
scoping.
to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one to beat. I'm sure that one. Everything just aligned that year, didn't it? As well, I think
Yeah. Yeah. I
with
mean, it's
the various trips and gosh, yeah,
one opportunity after the other just kind of
yeah.
popped up, and then it really was kind of the perfect storm. I had no intention of doing a digiscoping big year, obviously at the beginning of the year, but after invites to go speak at the Columbia Bird Fair, and then you and I were on the digiscoping team for the Champions of the Flyway, and then came to the UK, and then got the opportunity to go and speak at the inaugural international conference for women birders in Uganda in December. It's just huge, and then wrapped up in Panama, just because people weren't going to let me not digiscope 1,000 birds. I was going to quit. I was happy at 965, but they wouldn't. The internet's brutal, man. It says saying good for you, Jeff. They're all like, you can't stop there. Okay.
What was the final total in the end? Was it 1,030?
1,050.
One
Yeah.
thousand fifty. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The bird species digiscope that year. So it's a good bar for someone to, I'm looking forward to someone to knock me off my pedestal and beat it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be too hard to do if someone were doing a proper, big year style. I mean, that was just me catching birds as I
Yeah.
was working, away from the booth in the mornings and afternoons, at these incredible birding events that I get to attend. So, I'm blessed from that perspective. And yeah, really lucky to be able to interface with the community and then, be able to take in birds along the way, in the mornings and evenings at these events that we attend.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. Sometimes you have to sort of pinch yourself and think, wow, this is, when you go to some of these shows and some of the events that we do and some of the activities we do, and you think, wow, this is what we do for a living, and you have to really do have to count your blessings sometimes, don't you? So out with David Linder recently on his pool Dorset trip, like a weekend, and I went down to document it because, as you know, we sponsored with some binoculars and things for the people to use, and yeah, it was just a great day, just a big
Yeah.
variety of people, some expert birders, some total beginners, and yeah, it was just a fantastic day, and we smartphone digiscoping and all sorts. It was. I'm thinking, yeah, this days like this, you really have to sort of like enjoy and appreciate.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the definitely the part that's, the icing on the cake, so to speak, the cherry on the top of a good job already. Um, was that the same trip that went to the bird observatory? Or was
Yes,
that another one?
same
Yeah,
trip. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I've never been down there. Obviously, very aware spot I've been hearing about for years, but I've never seen it. For the most part, I come wheeling in and drop into Heathrow, go straight up to the Global Bird Fair,
yeah,
back to Heathrow, and maybe a meeting afterwards, and then straight back home. So, despite having been to Global Bird Fair 13 or 14 times now, I don't have much of a list, and the vast majority of it was, staring out the window, particularly at the original Bird Fair site, on
yes,
Rutland Waters, staring out over the pond. I've seen some great birds from the
yeah,
from
yeah,
the, from the optics
yeah.
tent there over the years, but that's it. That's my extent of UK birding thus far. I think this year might actually get out and do some proper birding. We'll see. Have
Right.
to see if that works out. But
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So yeah, so we'll have the usual stuff will be out, obviously with the Promenade scopes, the 99, 88, 66, 55. So if anyone wants to come and try out the top end scopes, then yeah, they'll all be there, all binoculars, all the digiscoping adapters. Yeah, it's just a great chance to try it. Optics from all brands, and just see what suits you. And it's
right.
just yeah, that's the way to do it.
I mean, the new scope line is just. I mean, they were always popular, but I mean, since we cleaned them up over the last 4 years and ran through and uh, rehashed the entire line, so everything's the same quality components front to back, including the little tiny 55 compact scope. That's made such a huge difference. It's really simplified the line and made it easier for consumers and our dealers, I think,
Yeah,
to understand, it's not like, well, this one has fluoride lens, this one doesn't, this is, we weren't kind of all over the place. But yeah, it's a nice continuity across the line. People know what to expect, and now you just have to balance, with size and weight against the functionality of
yeah,
light delivery and in some cases magnification. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's simplified a lot. Below 55 is just, we can't seem to make enough of them over here.
No,
They're
no,
flying off the shelves.
yeah.
But
Same, it's exactly the same over here. It's gone down so well. It's just every bit of the performance, the spec, everything about it is just is right. And even going back to Digiscope, the Digiscoping performance is ridiculous when you see
yeah,
some of the stuff that the ambassadors are getting with it. This tiny compact scope with a 55 mm objective lens, producing
yep.
some of the stuff that they're producing with it. So you can see why it's so popular. So yeah, so
Well, they're all using the same eyepiece now, right? That eyepiece
yeah,
design is just so good. For many, many years, even when I wasn't with Kowa, I would always say, quietly, Kowa makes the best scope. That the old 880 series was, you know, industry leading for, the 15 years it was on the marketplace.
yeah,
So it's no surprise, but still, it's good to see. It's been fun as someone who personally enjoys digiscoping, not just doing it for the job. To have tools of this magnitude to be able to play with
Yeah,
day in and
it's
day out
nice.
makes the quality of the images a lot easier to get.
Yeah,
Well, Rob, it's been really fun talking to you as always. Great to see your face. I can't wait to see you in person at the Global Bird Fair. Um,
absolutely.
and I know it's a sort of the biggest event. People come from all over the world. So, hope to if you're around, come say hi. And we look forward to seeing you on the stand or on the grounds at the Global Bird Fair. Of course, look forward to new webinars coming your way soon. We're gonna, put a fire back under the stove, so to speak. Get these things fired up again. We've got just so many really, really talented Kowa users that we'd love to have talk to you on, what it is that they're doing again, get that the topics going again. But otherwise, I'll see you in just mere weeks at this point.
Mere weeks, yes, and we'll
Years flying by.
it's crazy to think, yeah, we're getting through almost at the end of June now, and yeah, into July, and
Yeah. When are we
crazy.
back or on this side of the pond, Rob? That's the real question. And to think
That
about it,
is a good
thought
question.
we have you
Yes,
come to another birding festival and work it with us. It would be
I,
fantastic.
I could be the digiscoping guru, couldn't I? I
Yeah.
could come up with,
Well, if you're going to
yeah,
break
no,
the record, you're going to have to travel some more. That's it. You're
yes,
going to have to get some North American birds on your list too.
yes, yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm okay with British birds, but yeah, so
Yeah.
everything I see in the US is like wow to me.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the fun about birding and travel. I mean,
yeah,
this stuff that's kind of mundane, regular old garden birds to you are birds I don't get to see at my house and vice
yes,
versa.
yeah,
So that's part of what makes birding, I think, so fantastic, as people can kind of turn up and just the regular everyday birds in another spot are
yeah,
novel and fantastic to you. So
yeah.
anyway, I suppose we're just babbling about birds now. I could do
Yes,
that today, but good talking to
no,
you as
yeah,
always. I
indeed.
guess we'll probably wrap this up and I look forward to seeing you soon,
I'll
sir.
see you soon.